Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Wynn and this is Critical Failure. So this is actually the second time I'm going to be trying to do this video, and I wish this glare would go away, but this video is going to be on the Iron Cobra, the second ClockWork device listed in the Mordenkainens Tome of Foes. This thing is actually surprisingly a lot larger than I expected when I read it the first time. You can see it right there, that terrible image that you can see, hopefully. It's a medium sized, which I'll get into later, which surprises me. It's unaligned, and the thing is used for, like, I would say more paralysis assassin type missions, possibly used to guard something of important value, ranging in size for my types of games I would have anyways, because I don't like the fact that it is a medium, so I would have it probably as a size tiny to a size large. Its damages being altered at that. So, wow, my phone just decided to mess up there. I'm going to give you the statistics right away, right after I say this. Gnomes tend to create these things and other such tinkers to the point to where they alter some of the venoms and poisons and alchemical imbalances within the creature to develop a toxin that paralyzes or confuses the enemy. And that, I think that's really overpowered, because for such a low health, low AC creature, it's surprisingly really devastating. Now, this creature has it's unaligned, it has an AC of 13, it is having a average HP count of 45, it's 78 plus 14, speed of 30 feet, I would say 40 feet depending on the size. If it's a tiny, have it as a 20, and small 30, medium 40, if it's a large 50, such things. Has a strength of 12 plus 1, a dexterity of 16, a plus 3, a constitution of 14 plus 2, with an intelligence of 3, negative 4, wisdom of 10, 0, and a charisma of 1, minus 5. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Its skills are stealth, plus 7, damage immunities. So before I get into that, it has a proficiency bonus of plus 4, just so you know. Has a damage immunities of poison, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing of all weapons, or all non-magical attacks that aren't adamantine. So if it's magical, it'll slice. That I can tell. No, yeah, magical will do normal. Adamantine weapons that are non-magical, like say an adamantine dagger or something like that, will do normal damage, but anything that isn't is completely immune to it. Now, most beginner level parties, probably something like under 4, probably won't get adamantine weapons. I know I don't mess with adamantine whatsoever. Something that I've considered, same thing as mithril. I think it's really cool. Its condition immunities are charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poisoned. Now, really awesome there. I'm surprised it doesn't have something like resistances to heat, necrotic, and stuff like that, because this thing is a construct. I could see, like, if anything, that like necrotic would be more or less it rusting, which would be really cool. You could also just lump that in with like cold, because if it cools and then it warms up, it's going to be then it'd be like water vapor and stuff like that, creating rust on it. It's like over time. Its senses are dark vision 60 feet, passive perception of 10. I would limit this dark vision to 30 feet if it's a size small or smaller. It understands one language of its creator but can't speak whatsoever, and it has a challenge rating of 4, which is 1100 XP. It has magic resistance, so basically the Iron Cobra has advantage on all spells and other magical effects, so something like, even though it's immune to slow, if it wasn't immune to being slowed, actually, charmed, frightened, paralysis, it can be slowed, so this would be a perfect example. Since it can be slowed, it would have advantage on being slowed. So take that as you may. It has an ability called Bite, or an action called Bite. It deals 1d6 plus 3 piercing damage. It has a reach of 5 feet. It's a plus 5 to hit, and it only hits one target. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 13 Constitution save or suffer one random poison effect. I would say on a D4, It only has 3 different types. On a D4, if it hits 4 re-roll, it has to be 1 through 3. Unless you have a D3, I don't know how that would look, but poison damage. The target takes 13 3d8 poison damage. Now, if you're resistant, yeah, you probably know how resistance works at this point. Confusion. On its next turn, the target must use its action to make 1 weapon attack against a random creature within 30 feet with whatever weapon it has. If it doesn't have a weapon, it must make an unarmed strike. If there's no creature within sight, it'll just run to the nearest creature. I don't understand that, but apparently that's how it works. Paralysis. The target is paralyzed until the end of its next turn. I would definitely say, again, if it's like a size tiny D4, size small D6 for bite, and then go to D8 when it comes to the medium, because that's how I would run it. It's just like the Bronze Scout. The smaller it is, the less damage it could do, but it's like still useful type of thing. I think it's really cool. Sorry, my eye is really itchy. This thing could be definitely used to guard some treasures of some sort, if your party is going to be using it, and I would have it go on the party member's turn that owns it. If an NPC, same thing, big bad guy, you know, I would say the big bad probably would have a couple medium size of these, and then some very tiny ones that the party would have to do like a high passive perception or a active perception type of thing. Like if they're in the middle of battle, they would like look around and be able to see it, or right before battle, if they're scanning around for traps, they would be able to see these types of things, like just kind of figure it out, you know, like little tiny portholes or something like that, little tiny holes in the sides they'll just crawl out of and such, under the command of the creator or the big bad. I think that'd be really cool. Obviously the big ones. Now adamantine, I would say this tiny ones wouldn't have that issue, like, or that advantage. Basically they're just too small. They would be just immune to non-magical attacks. Adamantine just kind of takes it away, because it's like that's a little bit too specific for tiny ones. Made of iron, of course, so they can do damage if they have a magical weapon. That's it. But yeah, that's really it for the Iron Cobra and how I have to really say on it. I'm probably going to be doing another video later today, so I'll see you guys then. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, enjoy your rest of your day.